Have you ever seen weird lights or heard strange singing voices in witch space?
See the lights.
Let's talk about that. Before we start the video, I have to show you this first. Here you see me jump to a different system, and as usual, we see the lights, and many people say that those lights are stars. But as you can see here, I had no other stars or systems in between. Not long ago I got bored and I started looking through some of my heavy-duty tinfoil footage. Then I stumbled upon abandoned dynasty expedition settlements and their logs. If you are new to the game and don't know what the dynasty expedition is, basically there's this group of people who call themselves the Club. They are pretty much the Illuminati. These people somehow knew that the Thargoids were about to reappear, so they sent out a bunch of ships to 3 different regions of space. Everyone had the same job. They had to find Earth-like planets and place beacons next to them. All these people did their jobs without knowing the plans behind it. The Club was pretty much looking for new places to escape to while the Thargoids arrive and fight us, the plebs. They also killed everyone who was working on the project, well, at least everyone who was left after some events. More about this in a bit. So the Club chose 3 different regions of space, Hawkins Gap, Conflux and Formadine Rift. So far we found 4 abandoned settlements in each region. What I'm about to show you are a bunch of logs that I find important and relevant to the subject. Here we go. Hawkins Gap, Alpha Site. People are getting mad or crazy, ejecting themselves into space because they've seen ghosts. Word is, there is something out there. Conflux region. Beta Site. A ship that is almost at its destination gets hyperdicted. Well, systems go offline, there's no power, and it's back in normal space, while nothing is around. A pilot remembers stories his father once told him. Witch space is haunted. Weird lights and shifting clouds, he says. Now, a commander log. Witch space is different out here, he says. Those lights we were seeing are less frequent now, but they seem to be hanging around, as if they're following us. Formadine Rift, Alpha Site. I heard some weird voices in the last jump. I'm scared. Help me, someone. I can't bear another jump. The lights in witch space are coming for me. The lights, always the lights. They're calling to me. A siren song. I must join them. Before we continue, I have to show you something real quick. In the previous log, the guy calls it a siren song. Here's the codex page for Roxla. That chant in the beginning talks about the same siren song. No? We continue. Beta Site, Formadine Rift. There's hardly any stars ahead of us. It's just blackness, the void. Picked up some kind of signal yesterday, and it looks like the crew weren't expecting it. Got them proper rattled. There's definitely something very strange about this area of space. Gamma Site. We picked up some kind of bizarre signal yesterday. Whatever it wasn't human. We're seeing some strange lights during hyperspace transits. More strange lights. We picked up some heat signature in the last system. Definitely something there, and it wasn't any profile I had seen before. Something was watching us. There's something evil out here, and it doesn't like company. Delta Site. Something weird happened today. Unloaded another beacon and set it up, then everything went offline. And I mean everything. No idea what caused it. Rumors are there is something odd about this area of space. I went out as normal with one of the beacons, set it up, had that weird power loss again. I waited and it all came back online like before. Signaled my support ship, no response. Flew back and it was gone. Just debris, no survivors. Don't know what happened. What have we learned? There are 3 different regions of space, with tens of thousands light years in between. Yet the same things are being mentioned in all three. People dropping out of supercruise for no reason, and all systems going offline for some time. Bizarre signals and strange heat signatures that are 100% not human. Weird singing voices and strange dancing lights in which space they are following the ships. People are aware that something is watching them, they just don't know what or what it is. They all seem to be very scared. Sometime after, similar, but slightly different, things happened to Yasmina Halsey, former president of the Federation. To keep the story short, the ship that Halsey was on blew up when it jumped. Its remains were scattered across a few systems, and Zachary Hudson made a CG in hopes of finding survivors. Eventually, Halsey was found, after being drifting through space for almost 9 months. Correct me if I'm wrong. She spoke of seeing visions. It was wonderful, she says, amazing. I saw the universe and our galaxy within it, as I'd never seen it before. I felt the presence of the real caretakers of our galaxy, the paradox of their existence, tiny yet gargantuan, fleeting yet eternal. They spoke to me as I drifted through void. It was amazing. I must share their message. Shortly after, Halsey issued appeals for exploration data in hopes of finding her super intelligent beings. They are out there, she says. I have seen them. We must put aside our petty differences and work together to establish contact. There's so much we could learn from them. Data was received from as far as Beagle Point, but nothing was found. 2 months after being released from the Clearwater Clinic psychiatric facility, she makes a statement. Again, I saw a place of extraordinary beauty, a paradise. It was truly wonderful. This was no dream. It was a glimpse of something very real. We must find this place. It could be our future. The fact that she was still talking about this caused some people to question if she was fully recovered. Most stopped taking her seriously. 1 month later, first Guardian ruins were found. We move forward 3 years. Present time, 3305. A few interesting messages appear on Galnet News. They talk about a technician who, out of nowhere, all of a sudden, decided to steal a docked ship out of a station. Authorities have no idea how he was able to do so, with all the security around, and his family is saying that the man is acting strange, not his usual behavior. But what does this have to do with our topic, you might ask? Well, the authorities found deleted voice logs and were able to recover them. It was the technician's journal. Here's what was recovered. The technician makes repeated mention of seeing an area of space, not black but radiant, glowing like heaven, and being called by voices that didn't come from anything with a body. The technician was working as a member of hangar service team for the past 11 years. He had a stable home life on the station with a wife and 3 children with no criminal record. Although his job gave him access to landing pads, it does not explain the ability to bypass ship security protocols or launch without authorization. One might say that it's obvious that Halsey was contacted, but why a simple technician as well? And are there more people with similar experiences? Because so far we have only 2 examples on record. Well, I had a third one, but my Xbox has decided to override it, so... It was a tip-off mission that a friend of mine got, and we went to the coordinates. There was a crashed Diamondback Explorer, and it mentioned dancing lights as well. They were following the guy, and he was afraid. Even Jack from Colonia mentioned similar things after his misjump. To keep the story short, he was planning to jump all the way to Beagle Point, but the day before the jump some people sold a massive amount of Targoid sensors and probes, and back in the day those used to damage the stations. Like, massively. Anyway, he jumped, but never arrived. That's what we call a misjump. After Jack was found, here's what he said about it. That noise, he says, oh god, it's still in my head. I thought I was a goner. Then I woke up here, in Colonia. He also said, They sing the artifacts. I thought that was some crackpot ranting. But when you're out there, they sing, and then they find you. Who are they? And what happens when they find you? So it's obvious that we're dealing with some sort of intelligent entities. What I don't understand is, are there two different types of aliens that we haven't seen yet, or are people just reacting to it in a different way? Because Halsey and the mechanics see lots of light and they're going towards it, like a small fish towards its prey in the darkness of a deep ocean, perhaps? While the rest are in a dark place and they're all scared, like in the Rift and the Hawkins Gap and the other one. If you want to help out with this mystery, I suggest we start looking at the Formadine Rift, because that's where that Leviathan creature is mentioned. Well, kind of. There is something evil out here. It's watching us and it doesn't like company, you know? Our best bet of finding something will be around systems which are far away. We should scout the ones that are really out of reach. This will get a bit easier with the new fleet carriers, I guess. Important things to look out for are weird non-human heat signatures. I guess instead of a square or a triangle, it'll be something else. Also, dropping out of supercruise for no reason at all, and all systems going down, should be a good sign. And obviously dancing lights that follow you or singing siren voices. Alright, commanders, it's time to go scout that area, and if you're lucky, you might be first to find a new alien race. So fly safe, and don't fly without a rebuy. And take care.